Hello everyone. In today's video, we'll see how we can use streams in Java. First, we'll see how we can move from a list on array to a stream. Then we'll see how we can move vice versa from stream to a list. Then we'll see some intermediate and terminal operations. Then we'll see some advanced concepts with streams. So first, let's create a list of integers. Let's say we have list of 1, 2, 3, for example. Now let's import the array list in the list, and let's create an array of ints, for example. Let's call it numbers, and let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now we have our list and array. Let's see how we can move from them to a stream. First, we'll see the list. Okay, now how we can move from list to a stream? There is two options exactly. First, do a stream list.stream. This will create us a stream of integers. Now we can do whatever we want. For example, if we want to console log the content of that list, we can do that. Pass around our code. And now here is the content of that list. Now the compiler said that this is somehow redundant because list already has for each method, but we'll keep it here for reference. Then this is option number 1. Then there is also another method in the stream, so we can do stream and let's import it. Then there is a method called of, which takes a list, takes anything actually, but we'll pass it our list here, and we can do the same. Let's say we'll print it and we'll call it option 2, and this will give us an array of the content of that list. Okay, that's for the list. Let's move to the array. In the array also we have the same stream. For example, let's copy this and we'll say stream of an array. But here is a catch, okay? Our numbers. If we run our code here and let's comment this out, let's call it numbers. If we run our code here, we'll see that we are printing the address of that array. So how to fix that? Actually, to fix that, we need to pass a wrapper type. If we go into the of method, it's a static method that takes a t, and a t is of type takes the wrapper, not the primitive. So we can pass it the integers, and if we run again our code, we'll see the content of that array. So always try to use this method and try to avoid stream.off because it's somehow not consistent. Okay, the other option is to use arrays. So we can do arrays. Let's import it and stream of numbers, and let's do the same here, and let's print it out. Okay, we have the same result. This is the result from the first option. This is the result from the arrays.stream. So this is option 2. So this is for moving from a list on array to stream. Let's see how we can do the vice versa, or the contrary, moving from a stream to a list. For example, let's take this and put it into its own variable. Let's call it array stream. Let's do it again. Array stream. Okay, let's count this out. Let's take the option 1 of each the list on the array. Let's create field variable. So I'm gonna call it list string. Okay, we have a list of a stream of lists and stream of an array. Now, how we can move from those streams to a list and an array? So, to move from a stream to a list, actually it's a little bit easier than moving from a stream to an array. So we can do list of stream to list. There is a method to list that gives us a list. So it's easy. We can create a variable from that, call it list1. Okay, how we can move from stream to an array? Okay, there is option here that we can use also, which is to an array. But the array that created is an array of object. So we'll say that we want to list an array of integers. So, but the compiler is not happy. So why the compiler is not happy? Because we should pass the return type that we want. For example, here we should pass that we want an array of integers. Okay, that's how we can move from a stream to a list or an array. So now let's move on to talk about intermediate operations and terminal operations. For that, I removed everything, and only I will keep the list of streams. Sorry. So here, what we can do with intermediate operations. So let's say we want to double each value in this list. How we can do that? Actually, there is a method called map on the string that we can use to do that. So let's do it. I'm going to use the map, which takes the value of this list. So let's say I want to double this value to photo. Here you can use any name. You can use val, for example. And now, how we can console log the output or the result of this operation. You may say that we will wrap it with system.out.println, but actually this is will returns nothing because this is an intermediate operation and returns us nothing. So how we can print everything? We'll use the for each that we used before, because as you know, for each turns out is a terminal operation. So the for each will returns us a console log that we can see on the console. Turns us something. Okay, this is the list doublet. Now this is the map, but also there is other methods. For example, we can use filter to filter the even numbers of this list. So we want to only take the 2, which is the only even number in this list. How we can do that? We can use list.string and use filter, and for each value we will filter the value that's even. Now we have our filtered list and we can print it. And we should see 2. Okay, we have our result here, 2. Now another method that we can use is reduce. For example, let's say we want to sum all the numbers in this list. For our case, it will give us 6. How we can do that? We can do the same, and we'll use a method called reduce that takes the first number that will start counting, then takes by function. For our example, it's the values in that list. So what we are going to do with those values, we'll sum them, and here we can use method reference, because as I said before in the previous video, if you have the input used as the same as the output, here A and B are again used, there is some kind of repetition here. So what we can do, we can ignore this repetition by use method reference. So there is our method reference, and we can do for each, but here we can't use for each because the reduce will returns us only one value, so we can't iterate over one value. So we can use println system.out.println directly. Here we'll see 6 as the result. We want to take only the max number, for example. How you can do that? There is a terminal operation called max that we can use. So for example, use our stream again, then we use our max, and the max takes a comparator. For our example, we use the integer comparator, and this will give us an optional that we can use get to get its value, or we can return the optional. Now let's print this, and here we should see 6 also, 3 because we used the original list. We can take the mean, for example, which is 1, and there is the minimum 1. This for the operations that we can use in the string. And now let's see some advanced concepts. So let's, for example, we want to create a map. Let's say we have also one here. Let's create a map that will takes the keys from this list and returns the value, will return the number of occurrence or frequency of each number. So it will return us, for example, 1 will repeats 2 times 2 1 3 1. How we can do that? So take our string and I'll use a method called collect, and we'll use group by function. Here in our example we use function dot identity, and we use a method called collectors counting. And this is will returns us a map let's call it occurrence map. Sorry for that. Okay, we have our map. Now we can console log our map. Okay, now here's the result. One is occurred 2 times in the list. As you can see here, we have 1 and 1 is 2 times. 2 is only found 1 time, and 3 is found also 1 time. Let's say we have an object now. Let's say, for example, we have a record called person. It has a name and score. Let's say we have a list of persons. Each one has a score. Let's say we want to group them by their score. How we can do that? This time we will use an object instead of a list of integers. So how we can do that? So let's remove this for now. I'm gonna say group by score map, and it will list of persons. and we group them by their score. Now compiler is not happy because the list of string is still of integer, so I modify it to use list of person, and I'm gonna change this to people, and let's console log map now, and let's see the result. And here it is. We have the first group by 20. We have 2 persons in the 20 category, and we only have 1 person which has 10. That's how we can make some advanced logic using the string API in Java. So I hope you like the video. So